Alright, what's going on guys? So we've done it before, we're going to do it again. I'm going to flush the engine oil out of my ute with diesel fuel. So diesel engine oil is always far blacker than petrol engine oil. The reason for that is blow-by. Blow-by is caused when the pressure out of the cylinder pushes past the rings and down into the crankcase. With the exception of a diesel, because they blow black smoke, the crankcase pressure, or the pressure that is pushed through from blow-by, always makes the engine oil go sooty, black, and just turns it main cas. Now because I'm rolling coal, it's even worse in my ute. So the blow-by causes my engine oil to go black real quick. So my engine oil is main cas. So I'm going to do a few tests. I'm going to take the dipstick out, wipe some on a tissue paper, have a look at it, and then we'll do before and after, and hopefully we can get this engine oil looking gold as and just looking real mint, because it needs oil services a lot more regularly than if I wasn't rolling coal, because of the fact of blow-by, and it's sooting up all my engine oil, leaving less viscosity, less protection. It's just shit.
Without losing the sump plug in the drain and getting all over my hand. There she blows. And I did get it all over my hand. Look at the state of it. Just black as shit. Alright, well here's our first lot of engine oil to come out of it. So as you can see, it's black as the ace of spades. It's just staining the side of the cup. And I don't think that stains black engine oil. It's more just all that carbon. And that is offering little to zero protection on the big ends and the crank of my engine. So I'm now going to go to the gas station, which is just right outside, get some diesel and throw it straight in my oil filler. Alright, so there's no engine oil on the crankcase whatsoever. I've got diesel, so as you can see that does not have the viscosity of oil. So we've got nothing but 12 litres of diesel here. Pour it in the engine and we're going to run the engine on it, and hopefully it'll flush out the crankcase. Right, so we've got the crankcase full of nothing but diesel fuel, no engine oil in this motor whatsoever. So I'm now going to go inside the car and fire it up, and we're just going to let it sit there and idle for about a minute, and that's just going to hopefully just wash all the con rods, all the sludge, everything that's in the head, all that black, oily, mank shit, all that carbon is hopefully just going to get washed into the diesel, and then we're going to drain the diesel out and do that once more, and then we'll put engine oil in it. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so that there is the sound of my motor running on nothing but diesel fuel inside the crankcase. There is no engine oil in that motor whatsoever. So hopefully that is washing all that carbon, all that mank shit, all that black oil. It's getting washed out of the head, off the rods. The sludge out of the sump is just getting diluted in with that diesel fuel, and hopefully it'll come out of the crankcase when we take out the sump bolt. And this here is my crankcase ventilation hose. Well, it's coming off the rocker cover. That there is the blow-by. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Yep. So that is blow-by. That is what I was talking about before. That is the pressure that is coming out of my combustion chamber, going past the rings and into the crankcase and pressurising my engine. With that pressure that comes out of the combustion chamber is what turns the oil in the crankcase black. On a normal engine, mine's been modified, I've played with it too much, that would normally re-go back into there, or into the air intake. So that's been running for about a minute now. I'll shut it off, we'll drain the diesel out, and we'll see what colour it is. I know it's going to be black, but hopefully that is taking all the sludge and all the carbon out of the motor for me. So hopefully it's done its job. Let's shut it down and drain it out. Alright, so the sump, I left the sump bolt just finger tight because I knew I was going to have to undo it again. Now this is nothing but diesel fuel in here now. So this is just going to piss out. Here it is. So you can see there is just very little viscosity to that. Viscosity being how thick it is or how thin it is. So this is real thin because it is just diesel fuel. It's not engine oil. So I wouldn't want to go revving my motor up too much while it's running on nothing but this in the crankcase, but I've done it many times before and they seem to respond to it pretty well. Doesn't hurt the motor whatsoever, and diesel fuel does have lubrication properties to it, so it's fine. So here's the diesel fuel that's just come out of my engine. It is black, full of carbon, full of soot. Now I'm not one for wasting, so I'm going to pour this diesel straight into my gas tank. I've got the flap open and a funnel in there waiting, I'm all for recycling, and there is nothing wrong with running this diesel through my motor. I mean, it's just run in the crankcase, so I'm sure it's going to run through the combustion chamber as well. Now, I've still got 6 litres of fuel left, so I'm going to repeat the whole process one more time, just to try and really clean all that carbon out and get my oil looking as gold as I can. I'll have the goldest diesel engine oil in town. That's the plan. Alright, so we're under here again, second time flushing it with diesel, so we'll drain the diesel out one last time, and as you can see it's black again, although hopefully with less carbon in it. So we'll let this drain now for about 5 minutes to just make sure there's no diesel left in there whatsoever. Put the sump plug back on and we'll refill it with engine oil, fire it up for a couple of minutes, and let's hope we get gold engine oil. Alright, so I've just finished draining the diesel out of the engine. Now, as a recap, what we did was we drained the oil first time, then we filled it with diesel, we drained the diesel, we filled it with diesel again, we drained the diesel again, and now I'm going to refill it with engine oil, and hopefully that's gotten rid of heaps of carbon out of that engine. Now, what I did with the old diesel that came out of the crank, that was all carboned up, I've put that in the gas tank and I'm going to run that through the engine because there's about 12 to 15 litres of diesel there, and I'm not about to throw that away when my engine can run on it. And the worst that'll happen is it will make my diesel filter, which is located right there, and I actually need to replace that because I have never replaced it on this ute before. The worst it'll do is gum that up a little bit, and I'll replace it in a month or so, but it probably won't even do that. It'll just stain the fibres of the filter just black because it was black diesel. So here's the first lot of engine oil that came out of it. As you can see, that was black as. Here's the second lot of diesel that came out of it, still black. So here's the third lot of diesel that came out of it, and as you can see it's black, but when you wash it around the walls you can see outside the cup quite a lot better. So I think there's a lot less carbon in there. So like, let's wash that one up the wall, and let's wash that one up the wall. You can see that's the first time the diesel went through, that's the second time the diesel went through. So even though it's still black, there is hardly any carbon in that sample there. So let's refill it with oil now, and I'm pretty confident we should have gold engine oil. Alright, so I've just put 7 litres of engine oil in my engine. Pull the dipstick out now, make sure it's at the right level. Can't even see it on the dipstick, it's that clean. But then again, I haven't fired the motor up either, so it's going to be clean while it just sits there. It's as soon as I fire the motor up that it'll probably turn black. So I think we're probably a little bit over full, so we'll fire it up. It'll probably turn black, which is disappointing, but at least I do know I've gotten rid of quite a lot of carbon in this engine. Alright, so we've just shut the engine down, we've let it run for about a minute or so. Now it's time to pull the dipstick out and see if this engine oil is any cleaner than what it used to be. So remember, when we first checked it, it was coming out black as, nothing but carbon, soot, it was disgusting. So let's pull the dipstick out and have a look. Oh, that's a great outcome. So it's just a little bit above full there, as you can see. It's just there, the level, and you see there, there's a little bit of, there's traces of black in there, but that's to be expected. But that is awesome for diesel engine oil. So we've gotten rid of heaps of carbon in this motor. So now I'll put it back in and we'll wipe it on the same tissue that we wiped it on before. So Here's the sample that we wiped off the dipstick earlier. And that's what we're wiping off now. So we've got rid of a shitload of carbon just there, and that's going to mean nothing but good news for our engine. That's going to be more protection, better viscosity in the engine oil, and longer oil life. So it's going to blacken up pretty quick with the amount of coal this runs, remembering I'll talk about blow-by, so it's going to put more soot down in there, carbon deposits, all that. But for now, this engine oil is going to protect this engine magic. So if you're here for the first time and you found this of any interest, or you found it just a complete load of rubbish, either give us a subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment down below, and we'll see you next time.